What's going on YouTube? T-Mac here with another video of the Rustler Creations. Over last night I got some messages asking about gear meshing and stuff like that, and slipper clutch adjustment. So figured I'd just make a quick video on those two things. So alright, let's get started. Alright, so as you guys could see, I'm still using the 36 tooth and the 24 tooth. A lot of guys are now using 25-34. Okay, this is a plastic. Where is it? There it is. This is a plastic gear, and it's a steel gear. Okay, and the 34 tooth from Integy, it's a steel gear. So, but basically, you can see the kind of gap that I have. All right. See, there we go. All right. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really don't have any kind of really way to set it. Basically, what I do, I just, I go by eye, and by feel, and by sound. Okay. By eye, I just simply look at it and just kind of, guesstimate. Okay, that's a pretty good position. Obviously, you probably don't want to go much tighter than that. You do want some room, for movement, for play. Being that the spur gear is plastic, there could be slight imperfections from when they, made from the factory, stuff like that. So you kind of want to account for some stuff. By sound. Okay, sound, I mean, when you roll it, okay, on the table, it really shouldn't make, you shouldn't hear any binding. Alright. Okay, you just kind of roll it over, and see it's very consistent, the gap. Okay. Again, the Integy spur gear, the 34 tooth, that you're probably, you probably don't have to worry about too much about imperfections because it's steel. So the manufacturing process in that is a lot more precise than it is on a plastic. So, and then by sound, I went over by sound, and by feel, again, you just simply roll it on the table, okay? And if you feel like it's binding too much, just back it off a little bit. If you think it's too loose, that's where, by eye comes in. If you think it's too tight, back it off. If you think it's too loose, bring it in, okay? Like I said, I really don't have any kind of specific way that I do this. Before, like with the 32 pitch and 48 pitch gears, like what initially comes with the Rustlers, yeah, you could use that paper method. That, for me, honestly, never really worked for me. Again, I just did it by eye. Something like that, you do want to have a little more, you want it to be a little more precise, because it's a much smaller tooth, and, I noticed that those spur gears aren't true at all. Like, they don't even, they're not even, like, when you spin them, they don't spin truly. Like, they almost like wobble a little bit. Okay, so you kind of want to account for that as well. These Mod 1 gears, they really don't do that. Even being plastic, it doesn't do that. So that's one thing. Also, if you guys are using this fan, okay, it could get kind of tricky to adjust it, because, see if I can focus in. Okay, there isn't much room at all between, like, the zip tie and the wall of the case. Okay, so you're probably gonna have to, like, bend this back a little bit. All right, bend back the bumper. Move this, because see, this is still, you can still move this. You can move this up and down. See if I can get it to move. See, you still have some play there, but you want to keep in mind with that cable. You don't want that cable to get too tight. Try to have that try to have some play in that cable. So that also, to me anyway, I know a lot of guys are using the Integy fans, which those are definitely great fans. Uh, I don't think that it wraps around, and it touches the case. So you definitely have a little more room to play with. Not that you really have much room at all, because I mean this motor is like it just fits in there, and then you have some room to play with as far as the adjustment. So that's pretty much that topic. I hope that answered someone's questions. So, um, and then slipper clutch adjustment. I not too long ago I blew my first kit. Okay, I didn't know any better. I had it all the way in, and I had a half turn out, which obviously it's very loose, too loose. So I mean that thing it's in my videos. It's on my channel there. You guys can check it out. But I mean the thing just blew apart. I mean there was nothing left, gone. So, I did some research. I asked, of course, I asked Geo and Draven and those guys, and John Racer X, of course. Just go all the way in. Some guys are using it all the way tight. And there's probably nothing wrong with that. I personally, I just like a little bit more closure, so I like to have it a little bit loose. Maybe like an eighth of a turn, or maybe just less, a little less than a quarter of a turn, a little tighter than a quarter of a turn, just so it has basically like a weakest point, a weakest link. Okay, so if anything was to happen, I would rather replace the spurt of the slipper clutch than have to start replacing gears on the inside, stuff like that. So I keep that in mind. I have it set about an eighth of a turn out, and it works. It's been working awesome. Nothing's heating up back there. See if I can see. As you could see, everything looks good. Sometimes you could tell if that plate gets too hot, it'll start to turns like a bronze color, and you can take a look at that. But as of right now, it's working pretty good for me. That could just be driving style. I'm really not aggressive with it. I don't race other people, and it's just by myself. So I really don't have to. I'm just doing more like top speed stuff, stuff like that. So I think that's pretty much about it. I guess if there's anything else I can think of, I will post another video. But I think as of right now, that's pretty much about it. So I hope this answered some of your questions. If there's anything else you guys need, just send me a message, comment, whichever you guys want. So I will end out by doing some shout outs, of course, to Draven 3907, Geo Stealth R1, John Racer X, Mum Fordale, Fatboy 77, Neon King 45, the Real Rud, I think the Real World as well. I think he's on there. But what I'm going to do at the end of this video, I'm going to start instead of having to try to remember everyone's names. I'm just gonna do like what you see like ending credits like at the end of a movie. I'll just put everyone's names on there, stuff like that. So that way everyone is on there, and it's much better that way. Everyone's recognized, and everybody gets credit. So and of course I'll try to name off the ones that I'm mostly in contact with, and stuff like that. So alright guys, well, I will talk to you guys soon. So until then, take it easy.